This video is all about what is the best builds, the best budget builds, the fastest builds for dealing with Avalonian Road humanoids for fame farming. Now, this video is set up way different, and essentially, if you want to get to the juicy bits, if you want to get to the big info, skip to 9 minutes and 41 seconds of this video. I know that's terrible for YouTubers to do. There's going to be a big gap in watch time, but for the first 9 minutes and 41 seconds of this video, it's me showing off several different builds. You can see the items on the right side of the screen, as long as I remember to bring them up. I think for Boltcasters, this is just any cloth chest. I just have the regular cloth chest. Stalker hood, any leather boot. That's what I'm using. I'm sorry I didn't show the inventory, but essentially, what I have done is I have done little timing tests, and I took the best result. I have spent days on this, days doing tests and builds, and I picked out several different weapons that multiple people can use, regardless of what you enjoy. You should be able to find a weapon that you have leveled up, maxed out, perhaps a whole weapon tree, and you can see the different results, because every time you ask someone the question, what is the highest DPS weapon, or what weapon is the fastest at killing, single target mobs, every single person will give you a different answer. I went on Twitch with a sock puppet account, not a Swole Benji, and I asked every single Twitch streamer, hey, I want to kill an enemy with 10,000 HP, what weapon is the fastest, or what weapon is the best, what weapon is the cheapest, what weapon do you recommend? And let me tell you, all of their advice absolutely sucked. Every single one of them answered this question wrong, and so I'm making the video to answer the question myself, because if no one else can answer it, then it's up to me to do the research, to do the studying, to do the testing, to do the methodical work, so I can present it to you in video form, and then show you once and for all how should you be able to kill a 10,000 HP target. But in this specific video, I'm not using the best of the best of the best gear, because obviously you would use 8.4, you would be using cultist sandals, cultist cowl, stuff like that. This video is meant for a cheap, affordable, and readily available build that will always be on the markets, including for Europe. I know Europe's been out for about a month now, but I wanted to make sure that those guys aren't having to rely on buying like tier 8 artifact equipment that costs too damn much. And so this video is using budget items, so you're not going to see Shadow Caller, you're not going to see the crystal weapons, you're not going to see cultist cowl or cultist sandals. Obviously, if we used those items, we would be able to kill the target dummy faster. We're using low budget items, and yes, I'm using flat 8 because it's the test server, it's all I have available, but later on, okay, so the test server tier 8 with max spec, it's 1,556 item power on average, okay? For a regular weapon. Now, with 100 max spec and a whole weapon tree, using a flat tier 8, it's about 1506 item power. So, yes, I have about 50 more item power in these tests, but you can do this with less, and later in the video, I do give you a shopping guide, and multiple shopping guides, like 4 different kinds, or 3 different kinds. I give you, if you want to buy flat tier 8, because if you have to have tier 8 for your stupid guild, or because you have problems with other people's opinions on the internet judging you for using lower tier gear, then I have a shopping list for people that need tier 8 equipment. Then I have the tier 7 equivalent, which is 4.3, 5.2, 6.1, and flat 7. And then I have the tier 8 equivalent shopping list, which is tier 8, 7, 1, 6, 2, 5, 3, 4, 4. And yes, so I show off the prices. I list them in order of cheapest to most expensive based on the Western price servers. Now, Europe won't exactly reflect these prices, and I did it in Bridgewatch, and yes, the markets do fluctuate. Like, if there's a couple fame weeks, some things might go up and down. If a whale buys out the whole market, some things might be cheaper or not. But you're going to learn, essentially, for the most part, what you can reliably buy if you want to go out into the Avalonian Roads and farm mobs quickly and efficiently, way faster than any of these Twitch streamers and Redditors and other YouTubers. I'm sick of them giving stupid, faulty advice. Oh yeah, use this build. Like, I had one of them tell me to use a broadsword, and they're like, broadsword is the best weapon for farming, you know, the Avalonian Road mobs. And I'm like, oh, okay, so it's faster than dual swords? And they're like, yes, it is. But then you go onto the test server, and you try to beat up a 10,000 HP target dummy, and you're just gonna fall flat, right? And, and then when you tell them about it, they get all mad and ban you from the chat. Well, okay. Yeah, I guess they don't like being wrong. But yes, like I said before, if you clicked into the middle of this video and you skipped the intro for some dumb reason, skip to 9 hours, I'm sorry, not 9 hours, 9 minutes and 41 seconds for the technical start of the video, because this is just showing the builds and the tests. And you could watch the tests if you want and be like, oh, well, your rotation sucks or your rotation's wrong. Okay, go make your own video and show us the real way to do it. And you could also complain, oh, but you're using the wrong offhand, you're using the wrong chess piece, you're using the wrong blah, 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 blah. And the point is that these are supposed to be cheap budget builds that are highly, easily, quickly affordable. And I'm just showing multiple different variations because some people like to use axes, some people who are smart like to use curse staves, and then you have people that use like a frost staff, and they're like, I want to fame Avalonian mobs with a frost staff. Well, guess what? I'm giving you a frost staff in this guide later on so that if you're only a frost mage, you're not left out in the rain, just so you know. But essentially, I do show the numbers of fame farming a tier 8 Avalonian Road mobs for 30 minutes, and it is the best take that I had out of 10 takes because I practiced this video 10 times over, so I haven't been uploading lately, so that I can get this out and get the knowledge out and get it properly made and show everyone once and for all that farming the Avalonian Roads is an absolute crapshoot. The fame per hour sucks, the activity is highly dangerous, it's difficult, it is not meant for new players, so every single time some idiot Redditor is like, the best fame farm of the game is to go to the Avalonian Roads with a 4.1 druidic staff. And it's like, no, it's not. Here's proof. And they'll be like, this, well, Benji's bad. And it's like, no, he's not. Yes, that's right. This entire video is to spite the Redditors giving false advice. I hate the fact that this game, and a lot of games are like this these days. Like, either no one knows the correct info, no one bothers to do the research for the correct info, or they just say what sounds right. Oh, Avalonian Roads, that has a bonus to fame, and it's a black zone. That sounds like a good fame farm. Let's just tell everyone with absolute certainty that it's the best in the game. No, it's not. Have you done testing? Have you done trial and errors? Where's the video proof? Show me the spreadsheet. Show me the data. Show me the money, right? But essentially, this video will once and for all silence them, and if they choose not to watch it because, slow Benji, it is their loss, and you are going to be the bigger man or woman or whatever. By watching this, you will be well informed, and you will know that the Avalonian Roads are absolute freaking garbage. Stop asking me to make Ava Road videos. Thank you so much. So here we are. Now, I included the Great Axe, which is an absolute terrible weapon that a lot of people fall for, and I also showed multiple different variants that I forgot to mention in these builds. They will be ranked on the time later. Now, granted, you may be also wondering at this point, but Swole Benji, you're not stopping the timer as soon as the target dummy dies. Well, no, crap, I'm not. I don't have this thing hotkeyed. I'm not some sort of, speed running, entrepreneur guy. I'm just a dude with a little timer and a recording software. So what I did is, after all of these tests, I have went frame by frame as best as my recording software and video playback software can do, because I'm not recording every single frame. That would be an insane file size. I don't have a good enough computer for that. But essentially, I got as close as possible to right on the frame when the target dummy dies, and I will present to you in the next little bit at 9 minutes 41 seconds. I will present to you when exactly that target dummy died to the best of my ability to perceive, and you will see what's the fastest and what's the slowest, and the results will shock you. And I know some people are going to be like, just copy an HCE build. You can't do that. Those are meant for groups of players. This video is meant for solo players. Please, I'm trying to save you guys commenting, and there's always someone that comments the stupidest thing because they either skipped the video or they forgot that I mentioned it in the video, or their listening skills just suck. But here we go. This is the last weapon test, and we'll get on with the rest of the video. Sorry to spend 9 minutes explaining all this stuff, but it must be done. This is Research 101. Now, here are the speed results of all of our tests. Blazing came in at number 1. Great Fire number 2. Great Curse number 3. I was really surprised at Great Curse being number 3. That's a real shocker, and that's with the channeled laser. Boltcaster's number 4, one of my old school favorites. Now, of course, we can improve these times if we were to use, say, Cultist Sandals, Cultist Cowl, some other kind of higher tier equipment, possibly. Poison Potions, all of those things will definitely speed up these times, but these times aren't exactly absolute. Sometimes my recording videos skip a few frames, and I'm not able to pinpoint the exact very millisecond that the target dummy dies, but this is close enough. This is a nice little chart here, and also you'll notice that there are different variants of the builds in case you need to run an axe weapon with run speed, so you can run from gankers, stuff like that. Also, I did list if these weapons had mana issues, like the light crossbow had mana issues, the Great Fire Staff, what else? The Pike had mana issues, the Great Frost had big mana issues, and of course the Great Fire with the Fireball spam had mana issues, so you would have to swap out the helmet for a Royal Hood, which means you don't have the armor shred or the damage buff once they reach half of their HP, which the enemies we're going to be fighting with these builds they have lots of HP, that's for sure. Now here is the cost of flat 8 weapons, which we're going to go over more costs in just a bit, in case you can't wear flat 8, or if you don't want to pay for flat 8. I've got more prices coming, but One Hand Nature takes the lead here. Light Crossbow, second place. Great Axe, third place. And we keep going down and down and down. Blazing is 1.66 million, so Blazing is really expensive. This is because gankers use this weapon all the time with that one mace that holds you down and shrinks you down. Boltcasters being the second most expensive, which is very unfortunate because I was really rooting for Boltcasters. Maybe I should look into that. Why is Boltcasters... Well, I'll do that on my own time. Let's get on to the next list. Now, here is the price ranking for 4.3 or Tier 7 equivalent. This is 100 item power lower than the previous list, and the reason why I do this is you can see the massive price differential in this bracket. You can see One-Handed Nature. Oh, also on the left side is the cheapest variant. So 6.1 is very slightly weaker than a flat 7 due to the mastery modifier. It's not a whole lot. But it is this is the cheapest way to basically achieve Tier 7 equivalent, because 6.1 or 6 plus 1 is 7. So it's not exactly the same power as a Tier 7, but it's way cheaper, so it's almost the same power. Anyway, let's go down the list. You can see One-Handed Nature winning at the cheapest weapon. Pike, surprisingly cheap. Great Frost cheap. Light Crossbow cheap, but all three of those weapons have mana issues. Great Curse is the first one on the list that is not nature, that is not mana issues. Great Axe, pretty cheap there. Now, some of the weapons I put on here, there are cheaper varieties, but you need the abilities for flat 6 and up, because Tier 4 and Tier 5 do not have those Q or W abilities, which I have compensated for, whereas Life Curse, as you can see on this list, is a 5.2, because it is an artifact weapon, therefore it has the abilities unlocked by default, whereas One-Handed Curse Staff does not have those unlocked and needs to be Tier 6 or higher. Same with Battle Axe. Yes, the 5.2s and 4.3s are cheaper, but it does not have the abilities unlocked, so you must buy Tier 6 and above. Whereas, again, Trinity Spear is a artifact weapon. So there you go. Blazing at the bottom of the list and still the most expensive. Also, dual swords right now, because they're so popular, are massively overpriced. So if you're a sword crafter, start crafting dual swords. You're going to make a huge bank. Like, even I can craft them without knowing anything about crafting swords. I can craft them at half the price they're selling for currently. So that's just free money. And now here is the price ranking for Tier 8 equivalent. So One Hand Nature still the cheapest. Light Crossbow finally moving there. Witchwork, Great Axe, Pike. Surprisingly Pike. One-handed dagger, I guess I fell out of popularity. Great Frost, pretty cheap. One-handed curse, pretty cheap. Great Fire is okay. Great Curse, not bad. A little more expensive as it should be. Live Curse is getting up there. Battle Axe, surprisingly popular. Surprisingly expensive. I think that you could probably craft these cheaper than what they're priced. Spirit Hunter, surprisingly cheap for what it is. Dual Swords, again, overpriced. It's not even an artifact weapon. It's a standard weapon. Why is it so damn much? Blazing finally winning against Boltcasters, and I don't know why Boltcasters are so damn high, but when I check estimated market value, the numbers are way off. I think someone just bought out all the Boltcasters in the game on West to study them for crafting. I don't know what's going on. So with all of this information, how do you rank it? How do you determine what you should use? If anything, this is to help you, depending on where your character's at and what kind of specializations you have. But I'm going to do this live alongside you to figure out what I should personally use. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to delete everything that I don't want to use for certain reasons. So one-handed nature, I have no specialization in one-handed nature. It's being deleted. Light crossbow had mana problems. I don't like that, so it's gone. Witchwork staff is staying on the list for now. Red axe can stay. Pike, I don't have any spec in pike, and I don't have hardly any spec in any spears, so that's gone. One-handed dagger, I really don't like single target melee, so I'm just going to delete it. Great Frost, I don't have any spec in that. One-handed curse can stay. Great Fire, I've got some spec in that. Great Curse, Life Curse, Battle Axe, Spirit Hunter, I do have spec in Spirit Hunter. Trinity Spirit, I don't have any spec in you, I'm sorry. Dual Swords, I have no spec in you. You're too damn expensive. Blazing, I've got some spec in you, but you're too expensive. Boltcasters, you're very expensive, but we'll keep you around for now. So now I have ranked them cheapest for the 1400 IP bracket, which is, you know, the El Cheapo version. So let's eliminate some more. So with that said, Spirit Hunter, I have 100 spec in you, but I don't have spec in the rest of the spear tree, so... And because you're expensive, you're out. Battle Axe, you're melee, and I do kind of like melee Battle Axe, but you're out, sorry. So this leaves the Curse Staffs, a Witchwork Staff. Well, you know, I think I like Great Curse better. It was faster clear than Witchwork, and I don't need an offhand, so that makes it cheaper, so you're out. Great Axe and versus Great Curse, which one would I want to use? That's a tough one. So Great Fire, I don't think I have max spec in you, so see you later. Great, whatever. One-handed Curse, very nice. Life Curse, well, I do prefer to play One-handed Curse over you, so you're out. And Boltcaster is one of my all-time favorites. These guys remain. These are the 4 remaining contestants. So, One-handed Curse, you're out because you are a one-handed weapon, meaning I have to buy an offhand. So that leaves now just 3. And here we are with our finalized cheapo, mega cheap, speed clearing Ava Road mob farming build. We have the Great Curse Staff. I got a Mage Robe. Now, I used Druid Robe in the time test, but it's not going to matter too much. This is just flat, you know, damage. And Mage Cowl, again, I use Stalker Hood, but this is way cheaper. And the damage makes up for the Armor Shred, kind of, sort of, who cares. This is the cheapest leather shoe. I just want that refreshing sprint. I went with tier 2 healing potions. These only heal 7% of your life. Oh boy, a whole 70, 700. No, this is 7. So it's gonna heal 140 HP when I chug one of these. It's gonna heal like nothing. And beef stew, there we go. It only cost me 16 or 17k just to travel to Brazilian. That way we can get to one of those easy Ava Roads. I can't even speak. And we're using the Ava Roads in Brazilian because it's more likely to throw us into a random deep black zone than it is something connected to a blue or a yellow zone. And before we begin, let's check a few things here. I have it on screen, but just to verify, there's my combat fame credits. We will be using auto respec on. I do not have a satchel. Now we shall check our Conqueror's Challenge here. And just to hide the text real quick, you can see here, our might is 4195 out of 5,000, whatever. Let's see. So, I know that's not going to count right, but who cares. Our favor is 1,368, so there we go. I now have a timer. We're going to enter a random road, and I'm going to start the timer, and we're going to see what the results are. Let's go. And wait for me to load, and begin. And I accidentally stopped recording there, so now we begin. Yay! Alright, so this is 30 minutes of grinding in a tier 8 Avalonian Road, killing the humanoids, avoiding any kind of gankers, picking up treasures, No gathering, just killing humanoids. This is what everyone in all of Reddit and most of these stupid Black Zone guilds will tell you. This is the best fame farm in the game. It's the most fame per hour, bar none. And even other YouTubers are saying this, and I'm debunking it right now. I'm going to prove to you that in the best possible circumstance, it's still not even half as good as farming tier 4's statics. It's not consistent, it's not reliable, it's not something new players should ever be doing, or experienced players. It sucks, don't do this, but alright, that's about 30 minutes. Let's get back to town and calculate our earnings. And yes, this was a tier 8 zone with tier 8 mobs. There was a guild transporting a power core through it. No one dismounted on me. The only other people I found inside were scouts for the guild. They were healers, so no real dangers, I guess. But hey, let's see how we do now, and let's get that text back on the screen. See where we're at. All right, doesn't look very good. Oh geez. Okay, so after would be 42. 982,740. All right, so 1.5 mil. Let's check might. Might makes right. Okay. So our might is 6112. 6112. Favor. Because I did get the reward 3,873. And that was 2K of that is a reward. 2K of that is a reward. So I gotta do some quick math here. 3873. We're gonna subtract the 12368. Subtract the 2,000. So it's 505. 505 earned. So 1K per hour. All right. So what about might? How much might did we earn? 6112, we're going to subtract that by 4195, times that by 2, 3,834 per hour. Per hour, okay. And then our combat fame credits, finally. 42,982,740, subtracted by 41,305,11. That's, I typed it in wrong. Alright, let's try that again. I must have missed a decimal somewhere. Let's see. I guess I left out a 0, huh? Oops, that's why. Alright, so we're gonna multiply this by 2. Multiply that by 2. And yeah, that sucks. Oh, geez. Fame per hour is only 6 million. It's literally half. It's literally half of Blue Zone statics. And it's way harder to do. I got down twice doing this. Right, and I'm, you know, oh, jeez, like, the Avalonian Roads sucked. That was a tier 8 road. There was plenty of humanoids that I killed. I didn't have to run from gankers. I'm not going to get a better Ava road run than that. I'm just not. It's going to take forever to find a tier 8 road normally. Like, before, when I practiced this video, because I like to practice my videos before I actually film them, I did, like, 10 trial runs, and this is the best result. But also in those trial runs, I didn't end up in a tier 8 one at all. Not a single time did I find a tier 8 road with humanoids. And I tried many different builds, and I settled with this one. This was actually way faster than the other builds I was using. But even then, like, this, it pales. It sucks. And I just want to prove to you that when you go to Reddit and they tell you, Swabigi sucks, he's wrong, he doesn't have any good info, go Ava Roads, go 4.1 Nature Staff, and go Ava Roads. The reason why they want you to go 4.1 Nature Staff into Ava Roads is 1, so they can kill you after you gather up a bunch of stuff after hours of grinding, and 2, so that you'll be a healer for their stupid guild. That's it. That's all they want. That's all they care about. I'm sorry, but Ava Roads suck. Ava Roads will continue to suck. But hey, if you still want to do them, hopefully you found this video useful, enlightened, and insightful. And I have been researching this game exactly this way for over 4 years now. I've got nearly 800 videos. I need something else to freaking play, dude. I've debunked everything that I can debunk in this game. There is literally nothing else I can make in terms of videos for Albion Online, unless I suddenly get friends, and I can do hardcore expeditions. But because I'm perma-muted, I don't have any friends, and they banned me from the HCE Discord, I can never do hardcore expeditions. That means I can never make guides. I tried to reach out to other people to just make the guides on my channel, but they didn't want to do it. I even tried to pay them. They didn't want to do it. And, yeah, so what the hell am I supposed to do? Oh, and you wanted guild guides? Sorry, but I tried the guild thing. Didn't work out. I looked in every single top, all the top 1,000 guilds. I looked in all of them. Not a single one was a good fit. I tried to ask to join a guild on Steam, got banned for that. Tried to ask to join a guild on Reddit on one of my sock puppets, got banned for that. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. I've joined every single guild's Discord and asked them about things, and none of them are a good fit for me, so I can't make guild guides, can't make hardcore expedition guides. This game is literally solved in everything else. Please, I need a new game to play. Please, please, please. But do continue to watch. I hate to moan and gripe and complain at the end, but that's just how it is, man. I mean, when you've been debunking Redditors and studying this game for over 4 years, it can get pretty damn frustrating. Anyway, please leave a like, because I put a lot of work into this video compared to some of my other ones, and please click the video on the right side of your screen. If you don't, you're going to stay up later than usual, and then you're going to sleep in, and your sleep schedule is going to be all out of whack.